Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. Life isn't a movie where everything magically falls into place. In the real world, especially here in America where the pace never slows down, you either take control or you get swallowed by the chaos. Every dream you want, every goal you talk about, every version of yourself you imagine, none of it happens until you force yourself to do the one thing most people avoid: getting organized. Because the truth is, clutter isn't just on your desk, it's in your mind. And the second you decide to clean it up, your life starts moving differently, faster, sharper, stronger. So if you're tired of watching opportunities pass you by, this is your wake-up call. Organize your life, because nobody's coming to do it for you. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time when you must stop telling yourself excuses and accept a simple truth. Your life is not struggling because of bad luck. It's struggling because there is no structure guiding it. Inside you, there are dreams shouting for attention. You have goals that matter. You have desires that keep you awake at night. But they get buried under disorder, a cluttered space, a scattered mind, and days full of distractions that feel harmless, yet quietly steal your future. Chaos doesn't destroy you loudly. It destroys you silently. People think confusion is just a habit. It isn't. Confusion kills progress. The world does not reward people who act without direction. The world rewards clarity, focus, and the ability to organize life with discipline. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is like the weather. It changes every day. But discipline is something you build. And when you build discipline, motivation follows you. The success you want will never come from random bursts of effort. It comes from steady, organized action. You cannot climb any mountain if your mind is drowning in chaos. Start small. Bring order to your room, your schedule, your thoughts. Each step of organization gives you more control over your future. When you master your daily routine, you begin to master your reality. Dreamers dream. Organizers achieve. The difference is not talent, it's system. When your days are planned, your priorities clear, and your environment built for productivity, you become hard to stop. Weak people wait for inspiration. Strong people build habits that create inspiration. Force yourself to plan your day. Force yourself to stay consistent. Force yourself to keep order even when your emotions don't agree. Every time you choose structure instead of laziness, you sharpen your mind. Every time you bring order to chaos, your power grows. Success belongs to the person who can command himself, who can direct his time like a valuable resource. Don't mistake freedom for having no structure. Real freedom comes from having order, because order gives you clarity, efficiency, and peace. When your life is organized, you move with confidence. You think clearly. You act with purpose. The person who lives scattered loses years chasing pieces of their own energy. The person who organizes compresses years of progress into months. So rise. Rebuild your order. Clear the mess inside and outside. Create routines that make failure difficult. Control your time before your time controls you. Do what is necessary, not what feels easy. When you finally organize your life, you stop surviving and you start winning. Chaos slows your progress. Order multiplies it. An undisciplined mind is a battlefield where dreams are defeated by distraction. Every time you let a day slip into disorder, every time you allow confusion to dominate your hours, you lose pieces of your potential. Success can't survive in chaos. It suffocates under scattered thinking and wasted time. If you want power, clarity, and growth, you must first create structure. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. Because every minute you live without order is a minute taken away from your future. Look closely at the people who rise in life. They are not always the strongest or the most gifted. They are the ones who stay organized. They know what they need to do, when to do it, and how it must be done. They protect their time. They protect their focus. They don't build their life around emotions. They build it around intention. Meanwhile, people who drift through life, hoping things magically work out, get crushed by their own disorder. The truth is simple. Either you organize your life, or your disorganization organizes your failure. Order is not a small habit. It is the foundation of achievement. Without it, everything collapses. You cannot think clearly in a chaotic room. You cannot dream big in a noisy schedule. You cannot rise while spending your days reacting instead of planning. Structure creates power. It turns random effort into real progress. It transforms scattered energy into focused momentum. When you know what matters and act on it daily, your life becomes precise. Discipline is the bridge from chaos to control. You must train yourself to act even when you don't feel like it. The small voice that says, "do it later," is the same voice that keeps you average. You don't silence this voice with thoughts. You silence it with action. Each time you choose action over emotion, you gain strength. Each time you choose order over chaos, you gain control. Greatness has never belonged to the emotional. Greatness belongs to the disciplined. Discipline is not something loud or dramatic. It is quiet. It works in the background. It doesn't seek attention. But it is the force that turns weak intentions into solid results. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack order. They follow their emotions more than their decisions. One day they are motivated, the next day they lose all direction. This inconsistency destroys more dreams than failure ever will. Discipline does not care about how you feel. Discipline requires consistency. It teaches you a simple truth. Emotions are temporary, but commitment is long-term. You cannot build anything great with weak habits. You cannot master your life while remaining a servant to comfort. Comfort is the enemy of achievement, and discipline is the remedy. If you want to change your life, you must first learn to command your mind. Discipline begins with thought before it becomes action. When your alarm rings and your mind says 5 more minutes, discipline says, "wake up." When your goals feel distant and your body says, "rest," discipline says, "keep moving." Every time you deny weakness, you become stronger. Every time you push through resistance, you elevate your potential. Greatness is never given to those who act only when they feel good. It belongs to people who act because they have a mission. Discipline is not punishment. It is preparation. It prepares you for opportunities that others are too unorganized to hold. The world respects the disciplined because they respect themselves first. When you keep your promises to yourself, even small ones, you gain trust in your own word. You stop delaying your goals. You stop negotiating with excuses. You start becoming someone you can rely on. The great victories of life are built on quiet, consistent effort. The early morning work, the long hours of focus, the dedication when no one is watching. These moments build a foundation that emotion cannot shake. Most people react to life. The disciplined direct their life. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They move forward and create momentum. When you live with discipline, something powerful happens. You gain freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom to stay true to what matters. The freedom to stay focused when the world is distracting you. The freedom to stay committed when life gets difficult. A man who cannot control himself becomes controlled by everything around him. Laziness, distractions, fear. But the person who commands his actions, his time, his habits, becomes unstoppable. Success is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You will make mistakes. You will fall. But discipline teaches you to stand up immediately without excuses. Each failure becomes a lesson. Each obstacle becomes training. This is how discipline shapes your character. It makes you stronger, sharper, and more resilient. Life does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who persist. When you practice discipline daily, you stop depending on motivation. You move because purpose drives you, not emotions. This is the moment when you become truly powerful, when your actions are determined by your values, not your mood. A disciplined mind becomes unshakable, and those who are unshakable always rise. So push yourself to be disciplined. No one will do it for you. Life does not give success to those who are soft, but to those who demand it through consistent effort. Cut out the distractions. Organize your schedule. Build habits that match your goals. Keep your promises even when no one is looking. Be your own leader, because discipline is not only the foundation of strength, it is strength itself. When you have it, everything becomes possible. Every obstacle becomes manageable. Every dream becomes reachable. Every minute wasted in disorder is a dream pushed further away. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever have. It doesn't pause. It doesn't negotiate. And it never returns what you lose. Every moment of distraction, every hour lost in chaos, every day without structure quietly steals the future you keep imagining. You may think these moments don't matter, but they do. Every small delay, every postponed task, every cluttered thought, they stack up. And over time, they build a wall between you and your ambitions. Your dreams don't die suddenly. They fade quietly. Disorder is not harmless. It is a slow thief. One missed responsibility becomes a habit. One disorganized day becomes a disorganized life. Eventually, you look around and see opportunities you weren't prepared for, goals you never structured, potential you allowed to slip away. People love to blame circumstances. But the real enemy is almost always internal. The lack of structure, the lack of planning, the acceptance of chaos. These are the reasons people stay stuck. Every minute you spend without direction becomes another step away from who you want to become. Disorder pretends to be comfortable. It lets you feel busy while accomplishing nothing. It keeps you moving but never moving forward. You tell yourself you're active, but deep down, you know the truth. It's just motion without progress. Success is not built on motion. Success is built on order. Look at any successful person you admire. It is not luck. It is not magic. It is not some secret talent. It is structure. It is organization. It is the ability to manage time with intention. The organized mind uses time as a tool. The disorganized mind treats time like an enemy. You cannot hold on to big dreams while allowing chaos to rule your day. You cannot build the future you want with scattered priorities. You must learn to take control of your schedule, your space, your focus, your direction. Every minute you organize brings you closer to your goals. Every minute you waste pushes them further away. Time respects those who respect order. When you plan with purpose, when you protect your focus, when you move with clarity, success becomes easier. But when your day controls you, when chaos sets the rhythm, you become a servant to distraction. Look back at your life. How many dreams were delayed simply because you weren't ready? How many opportunities passed because you didn't have a plan? Not because you lacked potential, but because your life was unprepared when destiny knocked. Success will not wait for you to get organized. It moves fast. Only the prepared can catch it. Every minute you spend organizing your time is an investment. Every minute you spend in confusion is a debt, one you will pay later with regret. Disorder makes your life reactive. Instead of building your future, you spend your days solving problems you created through a lack of structure. You end up tired, not from work, but from chaos. A cluttered mind cannot create. A scattered spirit cannot rise. When your thoughts are disorganized, your actions lose direction. Your energy becomes diluted across meaningless distractions. But when you bring order into your life, everything starts to change. Your focus sharpens. Your energy increases. You stop reacting and start leading. Success is built on order, not impulse. The disciplined plan their hours. The disorganized waste them. The organized person owns time. The disorganized person is owned by time. Fate is not the reason for failure. Confusion is. The world belongs to people who plan, prepare, and execute with purpose. That is not control. That is creation. If you want power, build order. Start with your space. Clean it. Simplify it. Make it reflect clarity. Then organize your time. Plan your days before they begin. Guard your mornings. Review your nights. When you live with intention instead of accident, you start to feel alive again. Your energy aligns with your direction. Your actions begin to make sense. This alignment is what turns wasted minutes into milestones. The clock is always running. Every minute is either invested or lost. The people who rise are not the ones with more time. They are the ones who manage time with precision. The same 24 hours can build success or build regret. The difference is order. Successful people use minutes like soldiers, each one sent with purpose. Unorganized people let minutes drift away like leaves in the wind. Which one you become is a choice you make every day. Stop giving your time to chaos. Stop surrendering your future to distraction. Stop delaying your life because you refuse to organize it. Power belongs to those who control their minutes, because minutes become hours, hours become days, and days become destiny. When you lose a day, you don't just lose 24 hours. You lose a piece of your future, the piece you were supposed to build. Every minute wasted in disorder delays a dream. And one day, you may realize the dream didn't die. You simply never made time for it. Don't let that happen. Organize your thoughts. Organize your habits. Organize your actions. Treat your hours like treasure, because they are. Time is the currency of greatness. Only those who use it wisely ever achieve freedom. From now on, waste no minute. Turn chaos into clarity. Turn hesitation into action. Turn confusion into direction. Because when you master your time, you master your life. And when your life gains order, your dreams stop waiting. They start arriving. Your environment reflects your mind. Clean one, and you strengthen the other. Look around you right now. Your room, your desk, your workspace. The clutter, the dust, the things left out of place. These are not small details. They speak loudly about your internal world. Your surroundings are not just physical. They influence your thinking, your mood, your decision-making. A cluttered room creates a cluttered mind. A disorganized environment feeds a distracted spirit. You cannot expect clarity while living in confusion. You cannot expect peace while surrounded by disorder. If you want to think better, start by cleaning the space around you. When you clean your environment, you're not just moving objects. You're moving energy. You're making room for focus, for creativity, for growth. Organization is not about being neat. It's about preparing yourself to think clearly. Your environment either holds you back or helps you rise. When your space is clean, your thoughts become lighter. When your workspace is organized, your mind becomes sharper. This is why so many successful people maintain a simple, clean environment, because simplicity allows space for big ideas. A chaotic environment constantly steals your attention. It silently drains your energy. Even if you don't notice it, disorder weighs on your mind. It whispers distractions. It delays decisions. It slows progress. But when everything is in its place, your thinking becomes purposeful. Your focus becomes stronger. Your work becomes efficient. Order gives you power. A clean space creates momentum. A simplified environment encourages discipline. A structured setting builds confidence. You begin to trust yourself more when your world reflects clarity. Do not underestimate this. People often search for motivation, inspiration, or some external force to push them forward. But sometimes, the first step is simply cleaning your room, clearing your desk, and bringing structure to the place where your mind lives. Tiny improvements create large changes in mindset. When you organize your environment, you send a message to yourself, I am ready, I am in control. And when your mind believes you are in control, everything you do becomes intentional. Life becomes lighter when your surroundings stop fighting against you. There will always be resistance. Your emotions will try to keep you comfortable. Your habits will try to pull you back. Your mind will whisper, do it later. But later is how you lose years. Later is how dreams fade. Later is how potential dies quietly. Order is built through decisions that don't feel easy. Discipline grows through actions you don't feel like doing. Every time you choose organization over impulse, you grow stronger. Every time you follow your plan instead of your mood, you gain control. This is how real power is built, slowly, consistently, patiently. Never forget, chaos doesn't just waste your time. It steals your future. It keeps you distracted, confused, and unprepared. But order multiplies your energy. Order sharpens your focus. Order accelerates your growth. Order is the language of success. Chaos is the language of regret. The difference between someone who struggles and someone who conquers is not intelligence. It is the system they follow. It is the discipline they build. It is the intention behind their actions. Stand up and take control of your life. Don't let another day fall into the hands of disorder. Organize your mind. Organize your space. Organize your time. Organize your habits. Build a structure so strong that even on your worst days, your system carries you. Master your hours. Master your decisions. Master yourself. Because when you bring order to chaos, you bring purpose to your existence. When you control your environment, you control your direction. When you discipline your life, you unlock your potential. Chaos kills progress. Order multiplies it. From this moment forward, choose structure. Choose clarity. Choose discipline. Because when you master order, nothing in this world can stop your rise.